Okay, today we are going to have a look at the structure and properties of the composite materials. If you mix any two base materials, it will make a composite material. So for example, you can mix an epoxy with chunk of wood. You can mix epoxy with sand. You can mix like cement with sand, rocks. That will make a composite material. Any two material that have different properties will mix together will form a composite material. The reason we need a composite material is because we want to achieve the best properties of both the materials, and we can make a third material which have the best properties from the both material. For example, here as you can see, if we apply the loading condition from this direction, you can actually see, because I have laid the fiber components here, which are the chunk of wood or any other fibers, the material is resistant to the stress in one direction. Now, how do we define the composites? It's combination of two or more chemically distinct and insoluble phases or materials with a recognizable interface. The two phases combine in a way that improve their structural performance. So when we talk about the composite materials, they are mixture of two or more than two different materials which are mixed or joined together on a macroscopic level, not microscopic, macroscopic level. Composite materials, they are used in engineering where a pure material cannot provide certain properties, certain set of properties. The composite materials can be tailored, so you can modify the properties and you can get the best properties of the individual constituent. Composite can be thought of a single material that had been enhanced by adding another material. Now, composite materials consist of the filler material, either particles of fiber, and a matrix material which surrounds the filler. There is a different function of a matrix material and a different function of the fiber material. They both have their different functionalities. Now, most common fibrous composite include glass, Kevlar, silicon carbides, and they are in a matrix of thermosetting resin, plastic material. Fibers increase the strength and the stiffness. Carbon fiber composites, they are used in a lot of aircraft, aerospace industry because of their strength and the weight to strength ratio, or the strength to weight ratio, is really high and weight to strength ratio is really low. So Kevlar, which is extremely strong polymer, is added to material due to its impact resistance. They are used in the bulletproof vest. Now, then we got the particulate composite. Now, here one material acts as a matrix that surrounds the particle. Concrete is the best and old example of the particulate composite. In here, the fibers are the rocks, the sand, they act as a fiber. Another example is glass bead reinforced polymer. Sometimes particles are bonded in matrix of a metal. So sometimes we have a metal matrix composite. Sometimes we have a polymer matrix composites. So different types of composites. The most advanced are the polymer matrix composites. They are the really advanced. Metal matrix composites are not as advanced. Some particles are bonded in a matrix of metal, aluminium oxide. Particle bonded in aluminium, they will increase the tensile strength at high temperature. Now, then we got the cermets, which are formed by mixing a powdered ceramic material and a metal particles and compressed together. The cermets, they are very high wear and tear resistance. Hence we use that one as the tooling material for the CNC. Now, if we are considering the glass fibers, we can see the benefits. The glass fibers has the best benefits of the glass fibers and the matrix material. The polymers have very low stiffness, but they are very ductile. Now the ceramics and glasses, they are very stiff and strong, but they will cause a sudden failure because there are certain flaws when we process them. If we combine these two materials together, we will have something that is strong, but that will always be able to resist a catastrophic failure. That will have no catastrophic failure. A sudden failure is the failure that we try to avoid in engineering. If we prefer a failure, we want a ductile failure, or a failure that give us some kind of a warning. So, for example, if there is a metal rod or any rod, if it's going to fail, we wanted to see it bending. So first bend then, so we can at least get a warning that it is going to fail. Only then we after it failed, we at least have a warning, so we can do precautionary measurements. But in terms of glass, when it failed suddenly without any warning. Now, the composite properties, they are determined by the properties of the fiber, by the length of the fiber, by the diameter of the fiber, by the orientation of the fiber, also the properties of the matrix material, also the bonding between the matrix and the fibers. Hopefully, next session, I will bring a sound camera. We got a sound camera which can detect a teeny sound. And so we will have a material and we will try to break it, and we will see that where it will detect a teeny sound, and it will detect where the delamination is happening, the cracking is happening. So if you see this wood in my hand, this is a composite material. They are laminars. So you can see that one. Now when I try to break it, so you can, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to break it, but yeah. Yeah, so it's broken now. So you can see before you start to break, it tried to produce some sound. We can actually, with that camera, we can actually see the sound. See the sound. So it's a sound camera which will able to, it's a very Dan got that one. We use that one in civil engineering. We use that one in sound engineering, but we also use it for the delamination of the composite. They use it in Princess Yacht and so on. The mechanical properties of the composite are determined by the mechanical properties of the matrix and the fiber. The fiber will act to resist the tension. The matrix act to resist the shear, and both act together to resist the compression of the material. Now, next one. Now, if you have a look here on this diagram here, you can, this is a graph of tensile strength in megapascal and the percentage of a glass content by weight as a glass fiber. I added the glass fiber here, which are particulate, a random direction. So just grind them together, add the glass fibers. You can see here the strength of that one can go all the way up till here. I can add 60% and the strength will be like somewhere around 200, 180, 200 megapascal. But if I got the orthogonal, like in that direction and that direction, I've aligned the fiber in the x-axis and y-axis, put them properly, the strength will go from up till like around 470 megapascal. But unidirectional, this is in tensile. The unidirectional fiber, if I put that one, the strength is going to increase massively. When do we say the composite has failed? The composite has failed if there is delamination happens, or delamination occur between the fiber material and the matrix material. They should be bonded together. As soon as they start making a cracking noise and delamination occur, it's gone. So in this case, there was let's say glue in the middle, and the glue act as a matrix, and there was delamination, and as soon as the delamination occurred, the composite material has failed, even though it hasn't broken into multiple components. Now fibers, they are very important for the reinforcement. Fibers are the one that will be providing the strength fibers are the one that will be providing the directional strength. Sometimes we want a strength in only one direction. So you must have seen some of the materials where they are strong in one dimension but not in other dimension. For example, honeycomb structure. So you can stand on honeycomb structure, it's not going to bend, but you just turn it there, you can just press with your hand. Yeah. So it's now there are three types of fiber: very thin single crystal called whiskers, small diameter of polymer or ceramic fibers, and thicker wire that are usually made of metals. Now, the most common are the small diameter fibers. Glass and carbon fibers are the principal fibers that are used in reinforcement composite. Although we use other polymer fibers such as aramid and Kevlar. Now, the reason glass is used is not as expensive as the other one. It's the lowest cost. Carbon and aramid fibers are the expensive, but we use that one for high-tech aerospace due to its high strength and low densities. Now, glass fibers exhibit generally enhanced properties over glass in bulk form. So if you got bulk glass, that has a different properties like that glass, or if you have a glass fibers, that will have a different properties. Now, any fibers that contain the flaw before that one, before we have a look at that one, there's a thing called critical crack length. Critical crack length is if there is a crack developed in the material, it has to be of a certain length before it can cause a failure. If the crack is smaller than a critical length, that crack is insignificant. You can repair it. It's not going to cause failure. But as soon as it reaches that specific critical length, it will propagate very quickly. And that is known as critical crack length. Now, carbon fibers, they are renowned for their high strength to weight and high stiffness to weight ratios. Now, but because they are expensive, we cannot use them for most applications. Polymer fibers are expensive, but they have high specific strength and stiffness.